Welcome to The Chatter, your end of the week ear candy for what to eat, drink, see, and do in Richmond, Virginia, right damn now.
The Richmond Experience is independently owned and created by locals, us, for locals, you. From recent openings and the latest trends to time-tested traditions and hidden gems, we're here to help you experience the very best that RVA has to offer.
Hi, I'm Paige, RVAX owner and chief marketing officer. I'm the face you see in front of the scenes on Instagram and TikTok, taking you to all the latest and greatest hotspots around town.
And I'm Kelsey, RVAX owner and editor-in-chief, working behind the scenes on your Wednesday and Thursday newsletters, the Weekly Insider and the Weekender, and City Guides.
Well, Kels, we have another guest this week. We're so excited.
We do. We're so excited. We always love having our guests on. I'll start with an introduction, then we'll get into actually chatting and, getting to know more about her.
Yes, hit it off.
This week, we have Sarah Saturday on the podcast with us. Sarah Saturday, known by her stage name Gardening, Not Architecture, is an interdisciplinary musician, producer, writer, and performance artist, a Tennessee Arts Commission Individual Artist Fellowship recipient. Sarah is celebrated in Nashville for her complex, vulnerable, and visually stunning performances. Since 2007, she has released numerous albums, singles, remixes, videos, and multimedia performances and has played over 200 shows in the US and Canada. Her music has been featured in films, TV shows, and commercials, including scoring the Discovery Channel documentary Dark Side of the Sun and the film Super Powerless. After relocating to Nashville from Los Angeles in 2012, Sarah began incorporating film, dance, and spoken word into her multimedia performances. Her latest release, Voyage, is a 40-minute live visual album that premiered to sold-out audiences in Nashville in 2023 and Los Angeles in 2024. And you can catch it at this year's Richmond Fringe Festival, which we'll have more details about later in the episode. But in the meantime, hi, Sarah. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, we're excited to hear more from you and hear more about the Fringe Festival too. This is always something that we write about typically in our newsletter as we're getting closer to it each year, but I haven't personally attended it. And Paige, I'm not sure if you have.
No, I haven't. And I get a lot of emails about it. And
Yes.
we're always excited to share about them on our event calendar. And it seems like there are so many in such a short amount of time. So I would love to just learn a little bit more about the festival. And I mean, why Richmond? You're coming all the way here. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so the Fringe Festival idea actually started in Edinburgh, which is in 1947. I think I was just learning the history about this yesterday from the founder of the Richmond Fringe.
Okay.
It's an experimental theater festival that started, 1940s, for performing artists who made stuff that was like not traditional or classic, and needed a place to show their work. And so now it's become this worldwide thing. So there are cities all over the world that have their own version of the Fringe Festival. Richmond's, I think, started in actually 2020, which was unfortunate. And they did a virtual one that apparently went really well. And so now this is, their third or fourth one that they've done. And I've got family in Richmond, a lot of friends there. So when I saw that they were doing a Fringe, I was like, I've got to try to get in. And it's an application process. This one is juried, so they actually pick who gets picked. But sometimes some of the Fringe festivals are like lottery. Some Fringe festivals go for a month, and you're seeing thousands of theater performances. This one's smaller. It's just Saturday, Sunday, Monday,
Right.
Just a handful of locations and like a dozen or so performances.
Yeah, amazing. Well, congratulations for getting in. That's fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited.
So tell us a little bit more about your background. We obviously got lots of good gems in that intro, but what else is there to know about you and what you'll be bringing to this year's festival?
Yeah, I mean, that bio kind of covers this. I've been doing stuff for a very long time. This is a solo project that has evolved over the many years. But now it's at this point where I started out just, as a musician, just playing shows. I was in bands back in the day. And then slowly I got more and more experimental with my stage setup and lights and performance. And now I'm fully theatrical. It's hard to book me in a music venue anymore. But this show, which came out in 2023, is there's a lot going on. There's a big projection screen. There's film. My collaborator, Dicey Wildman, she's a filmmaker, and she made these films that are playing the whole time that I'm interacting with on stage with the screen while I'm singing or dancing. There's spoken word, there's costume. It's very much like it's like a live film. So this idea of like a live visual album kind of sums up, you're sort of watching a movie, but one of the actors is also physically in the room.
Yeah. I love that. I feel like my mind immediately went to like Beyonce Lemonade, which
Yep.
I feel like very
Yeah.
much like amplified that format, but it's such a cool way to sort of like further highlight the different pieces throughout the whole thing.
Totally. Yeah. It's like, it's sort of a series of music videos, but the videos are more like a movie, and the overall there is a storyline. But it's very much like I only speak one time and I'm reciting a poem. Otherwise I'm just singing the whole time or silence.
Oh, wow. Okay. Is that exhausting? That sounds exhausting.
I mean, the 40 minutes goes by very fast for me. And people that have seen the show say it does seem like it goes by very fast, but it is like I'm in character the whole time. So it is like, okay, here we go, you know?
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yes, before your performance, do you do anything like meditative to get into your zone for the 40 minutes and to get into character?
I love that question. Yes. Like that, the whole day leading up to the show, I'm always like, okay. And the beginning of the show actually starts with, I pull a volunteer up on stage and I have them do a little reading.
Okay.
And while they're doing the reading, it's very short, but while they're doing the reading, I kind of have a moment because I start behind the screen and then the show starts. And then at some point I come out from behind the screen. So while they're doing that reading, I'm kind of like getting into I only have like about 20 seconds, but it's enough to take a deep breath.
Right. Really center yourself. Oh, that's so cool. That is a good question. I was going to ask too, like, as far as preparing yourself for this, there's that little bit like right ahead of it, but how long did it take you to sort of create this entire thing before you were ready to sort of debut it?
Yeah. I've been making shows like this for several years, but this I knew was going to be the biggest one ever. And I started thinking about it. My collaborator, Dicey, and I, this is the first time where instead of me bringing her a bunch of music and saying, hey, can you help make some films and let's make videos for this music that already exists? I wanted to write the story of the show with her first and then make the music for it. So we started in the pandemic in 2021. We started working on it and we wrote the story, started filming. I want to say end of 2021, beginning of 2022. And so, yeah, from 2021 to 23, it premiered. So 2 years in production.
And how about like inspiration for this kind of project? As you've been saying too, you've had so many like iterations of different forms of this type of thing, but what inspired this particular one?
I think it really is like just the stuff that I make. Like every time I make a new thing, it's like, oh, that's a new expanded version of this thing that she did 5 years ago or 10 years ago. So a lot of it is just me thinking about what do I think would be cool to see? If I'm going to see someone play a bunch of songs, what would be a cool way to like take that in? But I'm very inspired by film. Like I go to the movies all the time. I'm always like movies that are visually really wild, like Everything Everywhere All at Once comes to mind, like movies that are like, whoa, there's like a lot of visual stimulation. It's keeping my attention. And then I go to see a lot of performance art and theater. Dance is a big thing. I don't have like a specific person, although my show came out or was coming out right after, I don't know if you saw Bo Burnham's Inside on Netflix when that came out. But all the people that were in production with me were like, oh my God, Sarah, like he made like the cousin to your show.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Yeah. So it's artists like that who are just experimenting with like, let's just get weird and see what goes together.
Yeah. I always love that too. We were just speaking to somebody who just recently published a book, and she had a similar sort of thing where it was kind of like, this is kind of what I wanted to see. And then, you sort of create it yourself. I feel like that comes from the most natural place. I think Paige and I kind of like work that way too, where it's like, what are the different things we're trying to find in Richmond? Let's put together like a social media post or a guide for it. So it seems to be the most, effortless way to get stuff out into the world.
Yeah, I think when it's coming that way, that you're sort of tapping into something that is like out there. Like people want that. There's a need for it. There's like, other people are thinking about it too, you know?
Well, fascinating. Well, you said you had family here, so I'm excited to hear your recommendations on what to eat, drink, see, and do. So, what are you going to do when you're here for eat?
Okay, so eating, I'm vegan, which makes
Okay.
traveling and eating interesting. It's actually very fun because I get to play sort of like, I get to go exploring. But I've been to Richmond before, and so there's a lot of vegan friendly places there. I'm really excited to go to. The ones I'm most excited about that I try to hit when I'm there: Cobra, Cabana, and Hot for Pizza.
Mm,
Brave Captain is new, and I
yes.
haven't been there yet, but I've heard that they have a vegan fish and chip special that I'm hoping might happen this weekend, but I also heard that they have a vegan version of the Richmond sailor sandwich, which I've never had.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it sounds decadent.
Right. That's something on my bucket list too, the sailor sandwich in general, but especially like, adjusting it to your own taste. That's perfect too.
Yeah, yeah. So those are the places I'll definitely hit, but there's a bunch of places on my list.
Yeah.
Those are good. Those are good options,
I
though.
was going to say, those are good. And they're all by, Paige, correct me if I'm wrong, Cobra, Cabana, Hot for Pizza, and Brave Captain is from the same, it's all the same
Same
folk.
family. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brave Captain does look really good. I haven't been over there, but there, it does seem, especially if you're in the seafood zone, which I feel like springtime is always perfect for. That sounds great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then, so how about for a drink?
So also me being a weirdo, I'm like, don't drink caffeine. I'm vegan. I'm not a big alcohol drinker, but I'm like deep in the sober scene, especially in Nashville. I've got a lot of sober people in my life. So I'm always like to see what's going on with like the sober scenes in other cities. And there's
Yeah.
a place there called KavaClub, which is
Yeah,
apparently Virginia's only kava and alcohol-free bar.
it
So
is.
it looks awesome. I'm really excited to check that out.
It's about.
And do you know what kava is?
Yeah, it is like it's almost like a root tea. I've
Mm-hmm.
had it. I've gone there.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
The experience in of itself is just cool because of how they decorated the place. It's very beautiful, green, lush, and then of course you can have kava, and they also make mocktails.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to try the kava, you don't have to. Like there are other options that you can enjoy. But I did try it, and it made me sleep like a baby, and I loved it.
Very relaxing. It's
Yeah.
very relaxing. And yeah, the stuff that's out there right now is like there's also an alcohol-free bottle shop there, I think called
Yes.
Point Five. There's just so much creative stuff out there right now. So I always like to check those places out in different cities. So Kava Club and I think Point Five I'll stop by too.
Yeah, point five is great. If you go in there, she'll often have some samples for you. And I mean, she carries everything from NA wine to NA spirits. And they're, again, beautiful, tasty, delicious. It's a great option. So
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
lucky to have those spots in Richmond.
Yeah, it's really cool to see that stuff come up right now.
I feel like a lot of people are kind of in that zone too. And it seems like every place you go to now has some version of like a mocktail menu. You can find so many good ones. We were just talking like Three Notch Brewery has a really good beer selection if you're into that sort of thing too. And there are like, I think Hotel Green has like a really good mocktail option. There are a lot of good mocktails all around the city, but Kava Club for sure is a good part of that arena. And then Point Five, like Paige was saying, she always has such great recommendations. I've had a couple of good things like on a whim over there that I've taken away, but if there's something in particular you're looking for, she's so knowledgeable.
Awesome. Awesome.
And then I do have to mention Laura Lee's too. So if you do need a recommendation on some place to eat and grab an NA beverage, it's Laura Lee's. Like it's so cute in there. It is delicious, southern, and then of course they have a great bar program with NA options.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Adding it to my list.
Yeah, have to add one in there. Okay, now I have an idea on what you're going to see when you're here. So this is our plug for the Richmond Fringe Festival. And I know it does start Saturday, but if you can give us a little bit more info on the Fringe Fest.
Yeah, so richmondfringe.com is going to have the schedule and the tickets, and each ticketing page has details about each show. I'm going to try to go. I get an artist pass, so I get to go to like all the shows. I'm literally probably going to just be back to back, like hopping around in a Lyft to all the places. But they've got different venues. They've got Schaefer Street Playhouse, which is on the VCU campus. They've got Gold Lion Community Cafe, Reveler, and Fallout. And there's stuff all day into the night, all like Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday night they'll have like a end of festival party, and they'll announce winners and stuff like that. So it's several different locations, but easy to get to. They're not too far apart.
And then, of course, tell us more about your performance, and then anything else that you're planning on doing this week in Richmond.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm just going to be trying to eat as much food as I can because I love eating. But I'm going to be doing my shows. So Saturday, I'm at 1:00 at the both of my shows are at Schaefer Street Playhouse, which is on VCU campus. So I'll be doing 1:00. So that's a good matinee option for people on Saturday. And then Sunday night at 8:00. And yeah, tickets, you can go to richmondfringe.com or my website, sarahsaturday.com, to get the tickets and more info.
Yeah, I was looking up at your website too before we got started. And it's a good way to sort of like get a taste test of what you'll offer too.
And I'm looking at the festival right now, and most tickets start at $15, and I don't think they go really much higher than 25. And you can get like a weekend pass if you want to visit a lot of the shows, but otherwise, if you want to drop in, they start pretty much at $15. So it's really accessible, which is really nice. The 24-hour game jam.
Yes.
Reveler. That looks really cool. So it's 24 hours. Reveler will be open, and you're gonna make a game essentially. It's my understanding.
Yep.
They have some rules, but it seems really cool. I don't know, just really creative.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and it's different ways of performers interacting with audiences. So like through gaming, which is, game leaders, there's a performance aspect there. There's like magicians, there's jugglers, there's comedy, it's like a lot of different forms of entertainment. The game thing, I'm really excited. I have not seen that at another Fringe festival before.
Oh, okay. We love the uniqueness. Yeah, I just added that on. So again, 24-hour option. So
yeah, there you go. You have any time that you want to go over, you can. It's also like just Richmond is very like art conscious, and like we love our artists around here. So it's just another great way to sort of support that community and get out there and see what everybody's doing. So
yeah,
I'm glad you'll be here, Sarah. Thank you for telling us so much about what you'll be doing and more about the festival itself.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me. This is awesome.
All right. Well, that wraps us up. So thanks again, Sarah. It is a pleasure. So you need to get out there and go to the Richmond Fringe Festival. But thanks for listening, Richmond. And by the way, there's more where that came from. Joining the Richmond experience as a member is the best way to stay in the know about what's going on in RVA.
Not to worry, we refuse to sell your info or bombard you with ads, but we do charge a small annual membership fee of $39 a year to fund our team so we can keep doing this awesome work. Plus, a portion of each annual membership purchase for the Richmond experience goes to rotating nonprofits each month. That's like $1 per week to get an all-access pass to the best of RVA and lift up local orgs. It's a really, really good deal, friends. And listen, what are friends for anyway? Use code CHATTER to get $10 off your first year subscription.
Give us a follow on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at The Richmond Experience, and on Instagram at The Chatter in RVA too. And if you enjoyed this episode, send it to your buds and rate, review, and subscribe.
And if you want to keep up with each of us, you can find me at Kelsey Heinz is Typing on Instagram.
And me, Sips and Trips with Paige on Instagram.
Thanks again, Sarah, and we'll chat with you next week, RVA.